everybody, welcome back to the van. Well, am I glad to be back in the van. Just a quick health update before we get into this video. I'm feeling much better. I've still got some joint pain, but it's not as bad as what I've had. I got rid of or over my sickness that I had at Christmas time. It was actually not as bad as what it could have been. So I'm quite grateful to that. And my joint pain and stuff, my doctor wasn't able to help me. He's got me recommended to a specialist rheumatologist because he thinks it's arthritis. But I think I've got it nailed down to that it's a gluten intolerance because I've taken myself off of gluten. And since I've done that, I've not had a major attack. So Lord willing, that's what it is. I'm hoping to get out here in the next few days or possibly weeks, depending upon what the weather does around here, and do some photography. And it's still wintertime. It's still snowing. It's still cold, and today it's actually quite windy. I think it's like 4 degrees or 5 degrees, but the wind is just bitter. And this is what I want to address. I see so many people online. I see so many different people asking questions. I see so many different reports. I'm even seeing some on the regular news about people who have gone out in vans and campers, tenting it in their SUVs, and they've gotten stuck and they've gotten in trouble. And they're in serious trouble. Some of these people have been stuck. Some of these people have had to hike out. Some of these people have had to call 911. We had one where there was a helicopter that had to be sent out to find somebody that was stuck. Here's the thing. No matter what you live in or out of, whether it be a car, SUV, a truck, a van, a bus, whether it be an ambulance, whether it be 4x4 capable or whether it's not 4x4 capable. And maybe it's just two-wheel drive or maybe it's four-wheel drive and it just hasn't got the clearance and everything. We have to go out prepared and we have to use some common sense. And it just seems to be lacking right now is to have some common sense. So no matter what you're doing, whether you're going out for a day, a week, a month, whether you live in your vehicle, take some common sense with you. First of all, you don't need to go out and spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars on recovery gear if you're not into doing that. I'm not into doing that. I don't need a big winch. I don't need traction boards. Now, I'm probably going to add a winch to my van only because there's been a couple times where I wish I had that capability to help other people. And there's been actually one time where it would have been really good to help myself. But I really don't need it. I've gotten out of those situations and I haven't needed it. So it's not something that I'm going out tomorrow and I'm spending $10,000 on to get myself a winch because, I just don't need that. But there's some common sense things to do. First of all, no matter if you're going out in the snow or where you're going, get yourself a shovel. This one's a telescoping shovel. It's just a tiny little thing. But it's amazing how handy this thing is. It works in different situations, not necessarily when you're stuck, but it works at campsites to clean out a fireplace. It works to move different stuff. It's wonderful. It's big. It works great. I think it cost me like $10 or $15. That was it. Is it the most sturdy shovel? No, it's not the most sturdy shovel in the world. I don't need the most sturdy shovel in the world. I don't need to spend $500 on a shovel. Now, if somebody wants to give me a $500 collapsible shovel, hey, great, go for it. If I find one on sale, maybe I'll buy it. But you don't need to do that. You can just pick up a cheap shovel, something that will work for you. If you may only need it, there's no sense having all that invested in it. Now, a couple things here before you put the comments down below or before you think anything. Get something that's good quality. I checked this shovel out. I've tried different things with this shovel. It's a sturdy shovel. It's a good little shovel for what the price is. That's all I need. If I'm out into snow and I need to move some snow, this will do that quite easily. Is it going to shovel through solid ice? No, it's not. Is it going to shovel through hard dirt? No, it's not. But it does what it does. Get stuff like that. Now, I mentioned before about traction boards. Many people don't need traction boards. I have a folding collapsible traction mat that I picked up, again, at a good price, and it works amazing. I was surprised how good it worked. I was actually thinking it was a piece of garbage. I picked it up because I couldn't resist it. I had to try it. And the first time I tried it, I was like, wow, this works good. Take the basic stuff for traction. Take the basic stuff to get yourself unstuck. Learn how to get unstuck. Learn when it's worth it and when it's not worth it. So that's the first thing. Take some basic, simple stuff that can help you. But here's the big thing, and this I just don't get. How many times have I seen online, how many times have I heard from people that they were driving in a blizzard? Why? Why were you driving in a blizzard? If you're somewhere that was safe, if you're somewhere that was you were okay at, why drive in a blizzard? I saw from another person who was driving their van. It was a bigger van in a massive windstorm. I know what it's like to drive in a windstorm. Why not wait it out? Why not stay there? And I can answer this because that's the next point that I'm going to. A lot of times these people are driving because they don't have the food or the supplies to stay an extra day someplace. So stay where you are, stay sheltered, stay safe, have traction gear and stuff if you need it, but don't move if you don't have to, and carry some extra stuff with you. Now, I understand. Believe me, from the last 5 months, 5.5 months, actually even longer than that, I have changed my diet dramatically, and I've gone off of a lot of stuff that before I could eat, and I've gone into eating a lot of salads. I've actually started eating really healthy, which is a shock, and if you know me, you'll know it's a huge shock. I've actually dropped 40-something pounds because I've changed the way that I eat. So I know it's not easy to carry extra lettuce, extra tomatoes, extra cucumbers. You just can't stock up and carry 6 months supply with you. But you can carry some other stuff. Here's some stuff that I carried, and some of this was before I got sick. So, simple. Freeze-dried potatoes. Simple. Box of it, 99 cents here in Canada. 99 cents. It's got 2 meals in it. So I've got 2 suppers, or a part of a supper, right there. Freeze-dried beef jerky. You don't need to refrigerate it. You can throw it in your cupboard, and you've got some basic meat. You don't need to carry 5 pounds of hamburger, 3 steaks, a roast. You can carry some basic stuff. This, I almost hate to say it, but noodles, the freeze-dried Ichiban noodles, carry those with you. You can carry a couple packs. And again, I realize right now I cannot eat the noodles. I'm going to actually try eating gluten here in another month or so. But if you can eat gluten, carry the noodles. The other thing, and I carry, and I have to go through and see if I can still eat a lot of them, but carry a full freeze-dried meal. I'm not talking about just freeze-dried potatoes, but I'm talking about the meals that you get that are fully freeze-dried. Carry 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them. Carry them with you. Just remember, they do expire. You will have to use them, but carry them. If you carry 6 of those meals, you have 6 suppers, and they take up a space that's really tiny, and they don't go bad for a few years. Carry them with you. That way, if you're out someplace and the weather turns nasty, and I'm not talking just snowstorms, I'm talking wind, I'm talking rain. We had just recently here in southern Alberta, I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago, where there was a family that was out camping. It was the springtime, and the rains hit, and the snows hit, and then it warmed up the next day, and then it started raining again, and the creek that was just down from where they were camped, that they had to go over this tiny little bridge, well, the creek rose, the bridge got washed out, they got stuck. They didn't have any cell service, and they had to stay there for 4 days until somebody realized that they didn't make it back and sent out a search party. They were pretty hungry by the time the search party got there because it only took the basics for a couple of days. Take some extra stuff with you. Be smart. Do stuff so that you're not putting yourself at risk and that you're not having to drive in bad weather, that you're not trying to do stupid things like cross a flooded stream, that you're not trying to drive in a snowstorm to get someplace to restock. Think about this. The other thing, in closing, and this is a big thing, and again, I don't know why people don't do this. Before you go someplace, check the weather forecast. See what the weather says. If there's a big storm moving in and you know you're not prepared for it, don't go out, because I don't want to have other people come out to try to find you and rescue you because you were stupid enough to go out. I don't care if you live in your van or if you're just part-timing in your van. I don't care if you're in an SUV, if you're in a truck, if you're in a bus, whatever it is. If you're not prepared to stay out there for 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the time is that you're planning on going for, plus some extra time, then don't go out. I see is so often, even in campgrounds in the summertime. I'll go to a campground and people will be there and they'll come up to me and they say, "Hey, are you from around here?" I'll go, "Yeah." And they say, "Well, where's the nearest store?" "Well, it's about 45 minutes away." "Why?" "Well, we've run out of," and they'll give a list of stuff. Seriously, you've been here for a day and you've already run out of it? Take the extra stuff. Be prepared in case you should have to stay a little bit longer. Be prepared for the time that you're going for even. Yeah, it's a pet peeve of mine, believe it. Yeah. So if you're going out, whether it be for a weekend, for a week, a month, whatever it is, take enough stuff with you. Be able to get yourself out of minor scrapes. Don't risk it if you're going, if you are out there and you need to go someplace, wait it out. And more than anything, make sure you have a cell phone and tell somebody where you're at just in case, and tell them when you're planning on coming back just in case. So until next time, get out there, enjoy the beautiful weather if you're having beautiful weather, or even go out if the weather's not too nice and enjoy it, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye now.